Welcome, Dayton. The Little Green Dress presents Traditions and Legacies, where we discuss family traditions and discover your legacy. Now, listen with me as we remember what used to be. She is your host and author. And by she, I mean me, Kim Gresham. Hi, and welcome to the Little Green Dress presents Traditions and Legacies. I am your host, Kim Gresham. Today is a wonderful Friday because I have a new friend coming to visit me today. I met him at Liberation Park. We were parked right next to each other during a festival, and he had this really beautiful truck, and it's called well, I'm gonna let him tell you because he just told me and I forgot because I'm so nervous. But I want him to come out here and tell me all about how he got started with the barbecue fishing queue. I think that's what he told me. Come on out. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. You look wonderful in your jeans. All right, have a seat. All right, good to see you.
It's good to see you again.
All right, tell everybody how we know each other. I guess I just did.
Well, my name's Dwight Lewis. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. Kim and I were at a Juneteenth festival, a celebration at Liberation Park. And she had her booth right behind where I had my truck parked at. And we talked, she tried some of the food, and she made mention, she says, I want to interview you on my show. And I was like, well, I would be honored. And from there, we've communicated quite a bit. And yes, now here I am today to tell you about the traditions and legacy of Dwight's Fishing Queue.
Of Dwight's Fishing Queue, that's what it is, Dwight's Fishing Queue. He was trying to tell me this story when I met him and I tried some of your food and I was telling you how good it was and you wanted to tell me the story right then. But I wouldn't let you tell me, and we talked many times, and I still wouldn't let you tell me because I like to know when everybody else is finding out. Like, I want to know now. Time for you to tell me. So tell me, how did it get started?
Well, the fishing queue is something that my dad started. I was 10 years old, and he had a place right there on the corner of Ardmore and Home Avenue. It's an empty lot now, and all of the businesses that were there are no longer there, other than probably the carryout. And I'm not sure if it's still there. Mm-hmm. But he catered mostly to the General Motors and Inland crowd that were right across the street. So it was a very lucrative business. Mm-hmm. And he named it the Fishing Queue.
The Fishing Queue.
And all we did were fried perch, whiting, catfish, and he did ribs and sausage and fried chicken wings. That was it.
Okay.
I mean, there was no mac and cheese, no collard greens.
Oh, he didn't have any sides.
He just had French fries.
Okay, so fries went with everything.
Fries
so he made it
everything.
easy on himself.
He made it easy because, it was one of the many businesses that he had. My dad was an engineer for Dayton Power and Light, and he also had a sign painting company because he was an artist that was his natural talent.
Okay.
But he just was a business person. Mm-hmm. He even at that time had a juke joint. So
okay. He had his many hats.
My dad had many hats on, and I learned that tradition of business from him. He started me off early, teaching me about business. Some of the things he did was he gave me books to read. Mm-hmm. My mother was a accountant with Metropolitan Life, and I watched her work and obtain her degree, so she made sure that education was the key. Mm-hmm. I'm a 60s kid, so I grew up in an era where there was a lot of very outward feelings about people of my color.
Okay.
And so, I was determined to be successful. Mm-hmm. And no matter what it was I did, I was going to be successful. and I was going to be able to talk to you on any level
Okay.
about any subject. So that's what my parents did. They gave me a tradition of education, and they gave me a tradition of business.
Okay.
And that goes back to my grandparents as well. You know, my granddad was a bricklayer, and he has bricked up most of the homes over in around Dunbar area.
Wow.
He bricked up. His company did so. We still have family property there that was there when I was 5 years old.
Oh, so you have a tradition of business.
We have a tradition of holding on to businesses and property.
Okay.
But the fishing queue today is an offshoot of something that I wanted to do. I should have done when I was in my 20s. So.
Okay. But you was doing other things. Okay, so now let me ask you this. Are you passing that same business tradition down to your children? How many children do you have?
I
I didn't mean to to touch the subject or something. Like, how many you got? Like 7?
Yes.
I was right.
Yes, and
I was guessing.
I've raised 4 others who are not mine, but they're my children.
Oh.
So altogether, it would give me 8 boys and 3 girls.
Okay, that's
So,
beautiful. So, and you're passing on all that. Do they work with you? Do they help you in the business?
Dwight Jr. works with me. Larry does. My son, I have 3 sons in Louisville, Kentucky, and one is a cabinet maker. One is what they call the yard sale king. You know, so.
He like to have yard sales?
Oh, God, gigantic ones. And
okay.
I've seen some of the stuff he's got. I'm like, how do you get it all? And he says, I have my way, so I don't question.
Just leave that alone.
Yeah, I'll leave that one alone.
Right. What you don't know.
But my passion was for cooking.
Okay.
That's my passion. So,
and when did you start? Was it with your father that you started cooking, or was it with your mom in the kitchen that you started?
My mom and my grandma.
Okay.
And I was probably about 5. And it was something about the smells of the kitchen. And I would hang out, you know, early 60s, there wasn't no men in the kitchen.
Right.
It was the mother, the grandmother, a couple aunts, and they were in there throwing down.
Yes.
But I wanted to know what it was they were doing. So my grandma said, I'm going to teach you how to cook.
Okay.
So my grandma was from Houma, Louisiana, so I learned how to cook good old Louisiana cooking.
What was the first thing? Can you remember the first thing she taught you?
How to cook? Nope. She taught me how to cook collard greens.
The first thing was collard green, off rip.
Off rip. She showed me how to tear them. And she didn't cut them. We could chop them today.
Right.
But she'd sit there with just a table full of greens and would tear them off the stem, throw the stem to the side, and you got nothing but the green. And then she would tear the leaves in.
Okay.
So
kind of nostalgic.
She taught me how to do collard greens, and I use that same recipe, except for we don't sit and peel the greens; we chop them.
You chop them right, because that peeling it take a long time.
Oh yeah, it's intensive. It's intensive.
I think back in the day when they did that, because it usually was more than one person that was doing it.
Oh yeah.
You know, all the aunts and stuff, they would be sitting
it's the
in
same
there
thing
talking,
with,
right?
Yeah. The same thing with beans. You know, if they were shelling beans.
Yes.
You know, it'd be 3 or 4 of them sitting there doing it together. You know? So
that's how you got it done quick. But these kids today, they are not gonna sit and be doing no beans like that. They are not. They don't have that kind of time. They'll be like, get somebody else to do it. I think that's the new saying. That's what they say.
Get somebody else to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So now you travel back and forth between here and Atlanta.
Yes.
So now, how did that come about? How come you? And you go to Kentucky with your sons?
Yeah, that's my next business move, is to go to Kentucky.
Okay.
I started, when I left Dayton 15 years ago, I moved to Atlanta. While there, I honed my skills as a chef in some of the top restaurants in the city and some of the top clubs in the city. I learned from some of the best chefs in the industry. And it was there that I started to develop the sauce and the rubs that I use today. And I started in as a regular old line cook and went on to be a managing chef and a general manager of a restaurant, so of a couple of restaurants. But my passion was always the kitchen. And so that's where I ended up developing a clientele as a private chef.
Okay.
And that just propelled me and propelled my name and allowed me to really get my food out to a wide variety of people.
Okay.
And I started testing the waters with the barbecue in Georgia. I had some friends in Tennessee. I went up and tested it on them and a lot of their family. Did it in Kentucky, tried it in Ohio. Had people in Ohio calling me, asking me, man, can you give me some of that rub you use on that meat? I was nearing that age where I was tired of working for someone else. The fishing cue came back to mind. It was back in 2020 or 2019, right during the pandemic. Right before, as the pandemic was hitting, I knew I wasn't going to be able to depend on a company, and I was going to have to build my own. And so I started asking myself, what is it you like to do? And I like to cook. And I tell everyone that if you have a hobby or something that you love to do, learn how to make that your vocation, and you'll never work another day. So that's what I did. And why did I bring it to Ohio? Because this is where all my children were.
Okay.
So I brought this business to Ohio to build a legacy.
Okay.
And to leave a legacy for not just my children, but the many grandchildren I have. We won't call that number out.
Okay.
But it is.
Gotta be quite a few.
It is. It's more than your hands together and my hands together. So
wow,
that comes from having, as I said, a lot of children.
Right.
You know, so.
Well, that's awesome. Like, I feel the same way, building a legacy in Ohio. This is a good place to, build a legacy and, start traditions and things like that. That's why I brought the Little Green Dress. I'm bringing it to the forefront and trying to share my story with other people, because when I start talking about it, then people always chime in.
Right.
So this is a branch from, the books are for the, the children, and this is for the adults so they can express and remember, what it was like growing up in the 60s, because I think, we had it the best. Like,
we
know
did.
what I'm saying? We had it the best. Like,
Our
like
time we played outside. We were raised by a village. I remember walking down the street, me and my brothers, and somebody yelled out, "Hey, what y'all doing over here?" And I'm like, "Who is that?" And one of our brothers goes, "That's Daddy's friend."
Right. So that means straighten up. That's what
we
it
knew
meant.
to straighten up because we was doing what little boys do.
Yeah, but now you can't do that.
Nowadays you better not start pulling up on nobody's kids and say
because
nothing.
they will be ready to really fight you and shoot you.
These
over
kids are
Even
ready to fight
if the
adults.
kid is wrong and they know it, you know what I mean? But that's what they see at home. Okay, so let me ask you this. So, the legacy question. If you were to leave this earth today, what legacy would you leave?
The legacy that I would leave for my family would be one of starting businesses, maintaining them, and really sharing that knowledge with others. Since I've been in Dayton, I've taught a crew of people that work on my truck, and they're outside of the family, some of them are, and they are excelling.
Okay, shout out to the crew that's excelling.
And the crew is excelling, and they're doing great, and I'm proud to have them as a part of my business. My son has even branched out to open up another company in Lakeview, Ohio.
Okay.
That he does, 3D's Worlds of Flavor.
Okay, and what's that?
He's a caterer. He does catering up there.
Okay, so I see the.
He's trying to become a private chef and do the things that I did. So I'm glad that he's emulating me in business. But I have two grandsons that are really interested in the business. So one's in Louisville. Well, he's in Lexington, and the other one is here in Lakeview, Ohio. So.
Okay. Well, I think that you are really passing your knowledge and your traditions down, it seems like to me.
I try my best to.
Yeah, that's good. That is so good. I think it's important that we get back to our roots and do things like that. You know what I'm saying? If we do that with our kids now, we start doing it now, then maybe, it can like heal us a little bit more. We won't be so, what I mean? We can get back to it. So I want to thank you. That's it. It's over.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. We can just sit and talk because I just love sitting and talking to you. But that's it. I want to thank you for coming to visit, and you can come back at any time. We'll
you can
put all that
email us. Yeah, you can email us at fishingqllc@gmail.com, or you can also email me at dwightlewis@gmail.com.
Okay. So what's your certain people have like certain spots that they go to like all the time. Do you have that? Do you have a certain spot?
I have 2 spots I go to quite often.
Okay.
One is on the west side, one is in North Dayton.
Okay.
The North Dayton spot is on Stanley Avenue, about 3 minutes from here. Stanley and Troy Pike, where the old Groceryland grocery store was.
Yes.
Yeah, we pull up in there, we park, and we're able to catch some of the people at Molly and some of the other factories down there. But my favorite spot is in the hood, on the west side of Dayton, on James H McGee, right at the More for Less and Family Dollar Shopping Center.
Okay. That's your spot.
So I catch them when they come out of the state store. I catch them.
Right.
They want something to eat with that liquor. So
of course they do. That was smart. Location.
Location is everything. And then, of course, I have a good reputation and a really great following around Ohio, around Georgia. Just look for us. We're on the move.
Okay.
Fishing Q is on the move.
Dwight's Fishing Q.
Dwight's Fishing Q. We make our own rubs. We make our own sauce.
We make our own rubs and we make our own sauce. Yep. Okay, you got it. You got that sauce?
I got that sauce.
You got that sauce?
I'll make you saucy.
Oh! Well, I love it. Well, come on, give me a hug. Thank you so much again for coming to see The Little Green Dress. This has been The Little Green Dress Presents Traditions and Legacy. I am your host, Kim Gresham, and this is my friend, Dwight Lewis, and he will be out selling you barbecue fishing Q, Dwight's Fishing Q. Make sure you look him up. All right?
Hey, April. What are you doing on Tuesday nights?
Well, Deb, I'm going to Gem City Chorus, of course, like I do every Tuesday night, my favorite night of the week.
We're getting ready for our big fall show on Saturday afternoon, October the 6th, at the brand new Fairmont High School Auditorium.
Yeah, it's going to be a fabulous show with lots of humor and harmony, including our guest quartet, the hysterical Don't Call Me Shirley.
You know, Ginger, when I first joined the chorus, I'd only been singing along with the car radio.
Well, did you hear the Gem City Chorus is offering 4 weeks of free singing lessons at the rehearsal hall in Centerville?
Yes, and the singing lessons start on October 22nd.
Anyone who loves to sing and have fun should sign up. Whether you sing in a choir, you sing in the shower, you like to sing in the car, or just happy birthday, come and join us. It's going to be a really worthwhile event.
So Diane, remember, our fall show is Sunday afternoon, October the 6th at 3 p.m. at the Fairmont High School brand spanking new auditorium.
And don't forget, singing lessons start October 22nd.
Check out our Facebook page or visit gemcitychorus.org for more information.
Come sing with us.
Together, yeah.
Thank you for watching The Little Green Dress presents Traditions and Legacies. Don't forget, you can see all our videos on my YouTube channel under the same name, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can purchase The Little Green Dress coloring books and books from Amazon.com, also from The Little Green Dress online. Thank you.